Alright, Kryptonians, welcome to the Kyrpton Report. It's me, Tyler. Sorry it's been a while, but things have been crazy. I'll give you a quick rundown. First of all, my computer crashed, and Jenny and I lost everything that we recorded, and we had to get the money to get the computer fixed and back in action. Then we moved, and had to wait for the internet to hook up, because we now live in the country, and there's only one provider. I don't know how many people out there know what that's like, but man, is it a pain. So I'm back. We're going to have to re-record some things here, and we'll have some new recordings for you, just because of the computer crash. Everything didn't save as well as I had hoped before it happened, but now I have my external drive out of storage, and moving is crazy. So you got just me today. It's just me today, and I'm going to we're going to talk about Hostile Takeover as well as Blood Bonds, because they're kind of like a two-parter. We had, Supergirl's been doing a really good job of ending the episode where the next one picks up, and I really like that. But let's jump into talking about Hostile Takeover. Now, excuse me. This episode technically was the mid-season finale, and I thought that was kind of cool that they did a mid-season finale and that the show is doing as well as it is, because I'm really digging it. The only thing that's really concerning me is just, I really don't want Supergirl to be we can't have Superman, so let's just, do Supergirl, because I feel like a lot of storylines are kind of piggybacking on that. And we'll talk about that more as we get going. But, so here we go. Are you ready? This is the first live-action appearance of Non outside of Richard Donner's universe. His first appearance was Superman the movie in 1978, and the comics wasn't until Action Comics number 845, which was 2007. Now, usually, he's known as being with General Zod, and he's always portrayed as a big, strong brute. In the comics, he was actually really smart, and then he was lobotomized, and he became unintelligent, became more of just the brutish person. If anyone's seen Man of Steel, there was a character that was a Kryptonian that was a big guy during this fight of Smallville that a lot of people thought might have been Non, but it was never clearly spoken or addressed and said. So that was very interesting. Now, this version of Non, I don't like. I don't like the actor that much, or just the whole way that they're going about portraying Non. He's not big and imposing like he should be. He's very small and dinky, and I'm just not happy with it. Jeff Johns and Richard Donner were actually the ones that brought him to life in the comics, because he was a character that was in the movie, and I'm not happy with it. Now, I liked this episode because you got to see the fight between Kara and her aunt, which was pretty crazy. But once again, I think her aunt's a little too Zod-like. I mean, they sit there and they fight, and it was great in this episode watching them fight, but I'm just kind of like, man, what is going on? Because to me, it's just something is going on. Because this episode, they're just clashing, and I don't know, Astra, she just seems like she's hiding something. I don't know what you guys think, but there's a line of dialogue that she said where she said the truth about her mother, and I'm wondering, are they going to try to be like, is Astra really her mother? I mean, that'd be kind of crazy, don't you think? If Astra was her mother and Supergirl, I don't know, I'm just saying. It'd be kind of weird, but I like that Kat got hacked in this episode, and it was just funny because it's just one of those things that just parallels what's going on in the real world and what we've all been seeing on TV and stuff. So I just thought it was kind of hilarious. But anyways, it's just kind of sad. The more I say and think about, every time we meet Kryptonians, they're always evil and bad because they're the only ones that survived other than Kara and Cal. So it's like, man, everyone who comes from your race is bad. It just stinks. And there's a lot of Kryptonians that were on Fort Ross. And they have their whole kryptonite protective stuff. And I'm just kind of like, man, I hate kryptonite. I wish it was something that nobody really knew about till later. This whole Cat getting hacked and finding out it was an inside thing was great with Win and Jimmy working a team. Lucy using her lawyer skills. I mean, how do you guys feel about Lucy? What are your thoughts? I like her, but still it's just kind of that, there's that little bit of between, Kara and Lucy that's just like hanging over the balance, and you're just kind of like, I did like when Kat stood up to the board after they brought the evidence of it was an inside job. And just, we now have the reveal that Hank Henshaw is John Jones, which is amazing because I love Martian Manhunter, and I'm glad they're developing him more and more. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. At first I wasn't really sure how to think of the character of the sister. Alex is cool, and I like that she is a warrior, even though she doesn't always come off across. You see her just studying Astra, looking at Astra's moves, looking at what she's doing. And I'm curious what Astra's plan is, because it's just kind of like, it's not making sense. I love the save, of Alex when she's getting ready to fight Non and Kara swings in. Just the whole Kara versus Non and the whole Maxwell Lord's place. Which Maxwell Lord, I need him to not to be Lex Luthor. I like the show. They're granting their own identity, but at the same time, it's always going to be in Superman's shadow. It ended on such a cliffhanger, with just Non and Kara like, boom! And I'm like, dang, what's going to happen next? So, it's crazy, We know that coming up, we're going to get Kat's son, Adam. Will he be killed by Toyman? And why is, I know I keep saying the same things over, but why is there always so much of just the idea that Kara's father means nothing? That's her tie to her cousin, is Cal. But yet, they never talk about Kara's father. Zor-El. They always talk about her mother, which is just not, about sisters. Maybe her father, something will come in later. But it's just kind of weird, What do you guys think? Now, Kat putting together that it's Kara and Supergirl the same person. Very interesting. I wonder if they'll keep this up and going, because it would be kind of neat if Kat did know. Maybe things would be better for Kara, maybe things would be worse. It'd be a really cool angle to kind of play with. So, what do you guys think? And here's a thought. Remember the villain from the pilot who talked to the lumberjack? The guy that was on Star Trek, the movie, who was also in Iron Man as the villain? Where did he go? What happened to him? He hasn't been back. Unless somehow I missed something. If I did, hey, shoot me a tweet or send me an email. But I'm just kind of sitting here thinking, what happened to that guy? Now, the next episode picks up right at the end, the episode of Blood Bonds, with Kara battling Non. Now, Kara's been here, the same amount of time they have on Earth, so she should have skills, and she keeps developing her fighting and her powers. But I just feel like she should have some sort of advantage. I like just her and Non just fist fighting. She should have broke his neck. Why don't she use her heat vision more? And I know the DEO has kryptonite weapons. Why don't they use them more? Now, if you're a comic book reader, you know that Martian Manhunter can fight almost toe-to-toe with Superman and has telepathy. Why aren't they developing that more with Hank/John? He got taken by Non like it was nothing. Was he not wanting to put on a show? What was going on here? And then Maxwell Lord basically, wants to do his own thing, and I get that. But come on, he spins it so that nobody knows. Then Jimmy and Gwen got to go in there and do their thing. He just doesn't. Martian Manhunter doesn't seem as BA as he could be. I did like Kara forgetting her glasses and screwing everything up, waiting for Kat to find out who she is. I do love Melissa's casting as Kara. I love Jimmy Olsen, James in this. So far, I have not really had any problem with the casting. Everybody's grown on me wonderfully except Non. And it's not that I want old classic 70s Non. I just want someone who I actually feel is the character. I don't know. What do you guys think? And if Cat Grant really did try to tell everyone who Supergirl is, she'd be like, it's Kira. Everyone would be like, who? Exactly. She couldn't out her because she doesn't know who she is. It's Kara, Cat, Kara, not Kira. Anyways, like I said before, I hate kryptonite. I wish it was something that was a little bit more rare. so there'd be more of a fight, because once you introduce the kryptonite weaponry that they have, it just makes Kryptonians not as awesome. Now, it was pretty intense when Jimmy James Wilson finds room 52. Go figure. The special 52 room. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then, boom, he's caught. And he's taken to a dark room with Maxwell Lord, wanting to fight like a man, while Jimmy's tied up, getting beat up. Then he pulls a giant wrench. At least it wasn't a crowbar. That was my first thought. But I was just kind of like, I just wish they had developed more from this episode of just what the overall plan is that the Kryptonians are wanting to do. When they talk about what her mother did on Krypton. And I'm kind of like, what did she do? Because, they've never really come out and said it. Now, Jimmy is a war correspondent. He did that in the comics, if I remember right. I really felt sad for Kara when she basically loses her job. And she does the breakdown of, I've lost everything. And, the thing about this show that they can really develop, that I said before, is that Superman comes from, hey, I'm from Krypton. I never knew my planet. But Supergirl comes from, I knew Krypton. I was a child there. I have memories of it. And it's a little bit harder for her to fathom than I think it does for Kal-El, because Kal-El was never really part of Krypton. And I think that's such a beautiful storytelling angle to just work on with this, because, that's kind of her whole driving force here. I'm still not happy with General Lane. My wife recently bought me some more seasons of Smallville, because I used to have them, but long story short, I don't have them anymore, and she bought some for me. And I've been rewatching, and I'm like, I just love Michael Ironside so much as General Lane, and I think he's the other casting in here that I can't take. I do love the soldier that, won't shoot Kara because she saved him when they went to the fake hideout for Hank. And General Lane's a pain. And that shot of Kara flying in was just done so well. She just flies in and saves him at the bunker, and I'm just like, man. The budget on this show, I wonder what it is, because it's so well done. Just her flying scenes look great. Everything is top notch. And I'm glad that they didn't hold off too long about the John Hank thing, that he did tell Kara, still calling her Kara, my bad, about him being, Martian Manhunter. But I did really like when they're like, you can keep a. She says, I can keep a secret, and they're like, no, you can't. And it's just, I really like, Henshaw, but Kara having to leave her job because of Kat, but the ending was great. And once they revealed him to be Martian Manhunter and everything, I kind of figured, oh, that's what they're going to do. But Supergirl showing up and then Kara walking in, classic. And then Kat's response of, oh, now that I see the two of you together, she looks nothing alike. And she's like, don't tell anybody. It's hilarious. Kat's embarrassed and can't admit it. I'm watching this scene right now because I just love it so much. It's good stuff. I mean, come on. And then you see him go, Supergirl, Martian, Hank. That was really cool. And it is interesting because her job is what keeps her, human-ish. They always said that if Clark gave up being, Clark, the reporter, and was Superman the whole time, he would lose himself, because that's all he would be, and there wouldn't be a person there. I feel that this is what the job represents for Kara, this is who she is. So, and I like how it ends with a message from Clark, good old cousin. I like how they kind of keep him, because like I said, I always wondered how they would do that angle. And then, of course, the episode ends with the girl in the hospital that Maxwell Lord is going to help, who has black eyes. And this isn't supernatural, so she's not a demon. But sorry for the late timing here, cats. It's just been rough, and we hope to get everything out to you guys and get caught back up. We're really looking forward to it. We got some specials coming up, too. And I hope everything's going well. If you guys haven't checked out, Sterling Gates has a Supergirl comic series. You can buy chapters online. I like to buy mine from Amazon on the Kindle site. and it ties right into the TV show, and I'm hoping that, coming soon we're going to get, a Supergirl back into regular DC continuity of books. So, this is Tyler from the Kyrpton Report. If you guys have any questions, look forward to some of our upcoming episodes. We're going to do, Janine and I will definitely be doing a review of Batman v Superman, The Dawn of Justice. And you'll hear more from us. We're going to also try to tap in and watch soon Superman Unbound. And if you've seen that, you know that Supergirl's in it. And shoot us your feedback, thoughts on that before we watch it and review it. Until then, keep on flying.